Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 between Hera and JorDan on Arabia. Let's get right into it. So we do have Hera playing as the Koreans in the blue on this eastern side of the map. And in the west, we do have JorDan playing as the Malians in red. And obviously these guys played quite a few games against one another. Previous game did include lots of monks back and forth. So what can we expect here? Well, Malians against Koreans. Obviously two strong civilizations, but not necessarily what most people would consider top 5 1v1 Arabia civs. So it's a bit open, right? Koreans do have a few different options. Those tower rushes are not quite as annoying as they once were with the increase of the archer line, but towers so strong for the Koreans. Love to see some going forward early. And then of course the Malians eventually would like to see some sort of infantry coming out, but that seems a little bit unlikely. That we'll get to that point. You just don't see it quite as often. And looking at the maps, well, Hera's got not too bad of a map. Fairly easy wall-offs. Fairly open on this northern side. Could wall off on the west, but in comparison to the openness of JorDan's north side, my goodness, he will definitely have to look at some sort of creative walling. Whatever that might look like. He will be able to wall up, protect these wood lines here. The berries will be protected as well, but this forward section of his base is just messy. Hera already dropping down massive walls. He is not going to risk anything playing against JorDan right now. He wants to make sure that he rides this out all the way to the end and can get a safe victory. Playing as the Koreans, you do want to get that protection, as there is no real early bonus when going for military that some of the other civilizations who can go for, you know, faster feudal ages such as the Mongols or the Indians. But you do want to get to a point where you're safe in the next age and can use the advantages that you have. Both of the players are on their way up to the next age. The one thing to note, Hera did wait for one extra villager. And both of them just being annoying with their scouts, trying to pick as much HP off as possible. And Hera is dropping this barracks on the front. Going to the deer patch with these 3 villagers. Interesting, as he does drop a stable forward. When we look at JorDan, he is also going for a stable as well. These scouts are pretty neck and neck. And JorDan comes out on top. So the openness is going to be on the north side of the base. But already a spearman out for Hera to add a little bit of extra protection. But the scouts sneak in anyways, and boom, they pick off a villager. One scout goes down, but 1 scout for 1 villager at this point in the game, probably worth it, to be honest, as JorDan now does have the villager lead, even though he was later up to the next, he was earlier up to the next age. And now the scouts are just dancing around a little bit here. Hera, such a fast player, able to wall himself in, as scouts will chase back and forth, as JorDan is pretty safe in his own base, but will likely be seeing some aggression come forward because it is very unlikely that he's fully walling there. I think it's more likely that he just walls into his town center instead. And the scout micro, let's see how these 2 players can play it out. Scouts as backups coming in on both sides. Also a spearman that might be able to get 1 shot out for Hera. But overall, fairly evenly matched. There is one more weak scout. I think that might be the starting scout from JorDan. And boom, that is a pickoff. And suddenly, JorDan has a massive lead, particularly when looking at HP. And the archery range is up. If you look at Fog of War, Hera was able to see that just barely. But he will be expecting it as he is fully walled in, dropping an archery range of his own. And he is protected against the archer rush that will inevitably be coming forward from the Malian player. Now these scouts at this point in time, they are important and they can also pick off villagers, but they're not as important as these archers are going to be. Really going to want to get to a mass of archers, really going to want to get as many out as possible so that you can be picking off these villagers on the wood lines, because look at this. Hera is not safe on any of his wood lines that are walled in. They are all very shallow. And as soon as fletching and or crossbow comes in, that's it. They will be able to pick off woodline villagers. And speaking of crossbow, JorDan on his way up to the next stage, he is once again a little bit faster and has significantly less villagers. I believe that he might have gone for, was it wheelbarrow or something along those lines? Let's take a quick look at how much gold this villager collects, and there you go. There was an upgrade already coming in for Eco. That is why he has the much lower villager numbers at this point in time. One interesting thing though, JorDan not going with archers, so a little bit of a, you know, a deke there against the enemy, as he does put archers forward, makes it seem like he's going to go into archers, into crossbows. But the Malians, they have a very strong nightline with their unique technology as well. Might be good to see some of those coming out. And against just regular archers, without even fletching as of now, they will be able to do quite a bit of damage. And immediately, 2 knights go out for JorDan. Is he going to drop a second and or third town center? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going to go directly into knight production, try to get as much of a military advantage as he possibly can. And in the meantime, Hera going to have to run away just a little bit and move to the back of his base, because these 4 archers are denying the wood line. The archers of JorDan will go down, of course, but this is wasting more and more time of Hera. They will be upgraded now. These archers will have bodkin as well as crossbow now, and a mangonel coming forward, so those crossbows now not very strong. Mangonels with knights, not too much that archers can do against that. The knights can pick them off when they go into the open, and then if they decide to bunch up against some trees or something, the mangonel can go right in. And here we go, the first engagement. Fairly good movement back and forth for Hera, and running away with the knights, keeping them alive for JorDan. That is a good play, but he will not be able to win this fight. This engagement is just too many crossbows for the knights that he does have on the field at this point in time. He really needs that mangonel forward, and he needs to start to engage the mangonel with the crossbows. Still 1 town center up. There is the second one going up now for JorDan, and when we take a quick look at Hera, 1, 2 already up. We might even see a third in not too long. And the crossbows hitting and running as much as they can, but the problem with that is it's slightly slower than a straight up run, and this mangonel is going to want to engage against the crossbows. It's going to want to pick off the crossbows. So Hera throws his own knight forward, and the knight gets the kill. That is fantastic game sense from Hera. Great play there to take out the Mangonel. And now we see a monastery for JorDan to negate the knights that will be coming forward. And just in response, the same thing for Hera. Both of these players completely on the same page here. And a third town center going up now for Hera. 1, 2 only for JorDan, as he does have a Mangonel in this Siege Workshop, healing up the knights. I do like that play, setting aside the knights that are very weak so that they can heal up from the monk as quickly as possible. And this is a pretty big ball of crossbows here sitting on the front. We'll likely see some engagements moving forward, and a Mangonel pops out of the Siege Workshop, picks off the Mangonel of JorDan, but right away JorDan has a new one coming out already in progress. So these crossbows, while in a fairly good position with their numbers, they can't win this battle straight up, especially with this many knights in front of the Mangonel. That Mangonel so well protected at this point in time, and one monk not going to do too much damage against that many knights. And even dodging the Mangonel shots with the monk takes out the Mangonel. That is fantastic gameplay there, as the knights are going in, moving forward. Monk is gone, and these crossbows are falling, but underneath the 2 town center fire, the knights have to run away, and a monk will likely pick one off. No, he doesn't get to pick off, and now we have a big push here, as the knights will need to be healed up before they go back out. Another monk coming forward, and JorDan is being the aggressor, has the score lead, but Hera with the 11 villager lead. Militarily, JorDan has the advantage. Economically, how long can that last? As Hera is building a Mangonel as we speak, that Mangonel could get a pretty juicy shot off when it pops out, and it is going to be coming out pretty shortly here, as he is healing up, repairing the Siege Workshop, trying to get a Mangonel out just in time. It will make it out, and it will just get a shot away. Takes out the monk. The knights run in, and the delete happens. The Mangonel goes down for both players. And now Hera jumping back and forth with the options. Guard tower going up. Koreans with those free tower tech just makes a big difference. And of course, doing the Mangonel trick where you delete the Mangonel, get a shot off, and it can go uphill. It gets that extra damage and really can cause a big advantage in situations like that, especially against multiple units. This Mangonel unable to go up close, because look at that, 8+2 range for that guard tower. That is significantly more than the 7 range of a Mangonel. Obviously not quite enough for now. And the fight is happening, deciding to run right underneath, and the Mangonel still being repaired as the guard tower will go down. The crossbows unable to get in close, wanting to get those shots off, but the knights take out the guard tower. A fantastic shot from that Mangonel, and JorDan now pushing in hard as the villagers are being pulled, crossbows are being pulled. All hands on deck to take out these Mangonels, these knights. This aggression from the Malian player, who has been untouched in his economy up until this point. Mangonels are able to deny that guard tower, able to get a couple of good shots in, and will maybe even take out a couple villagers here. Yes, look at that. More and more villagers falling, which of course is the only advantage that Hera has at this point in time. 5 villager lead for him. He does have higher military numbers, but the military numbers of Hera, in only being crossbows, will not be able to defeat the military of knights, mangonels, and rams for JorDan. A castle now going up on the front and taking a quick look at the fog of war. JorDan unable to see that at this point in time. He will see they're building something. He takes out a couple of villagers. Will the knights get in fast enough to deny this castle? This castle looks like it is going up. All hands on deck as these villagers will start to fall, but it will be worth it once the castle makes it up. And now the mangonels trying to get a couple of shots against the crossbows, and boom! Massive hits as the knights surround. And even a villager having to take out the mangonel, but not before it gets another final shot. Hera with a big military numbers advantage now. This castle being up, such a game changer. And look at these resources for JorDan. Massive amounts of gold. He can produce gold units constantly pretty much at this point in time. And this castle on the hill, will it go up in time now as Hera moves forward with his own crossbows and only one knight in response as the entire village is running forward trying to get this castle up. JorDan knows at this point in time this castle must go up, and with this many villagers the castle will go up undoubtedly. However, how many villagers will he lose before the castle goes up? He does lose quite a few, but still, look at these numbers. A 1 villager lead for JorDan as he walls in the army of Hera. Does that quick wall. That siege workshop is going to go down, but that was a little bit of extra time that was much, much needed, as now JorDan is on his way up to the next stage. He is on multiple town centers. Look at that. I'd love to see the technology. Unique technologies coming in now. As the tables have turned, Hera is running into the base of JorDan. JorDan having to build his own watchtower to protect his villagers. And you know what? With the way that these town centers are set up, he will be fairly well protected, especially with this mangonel coming in. And I do not believe this is a necessarily wise decision now for JorDan to run these crossbows in, as they will be caught out pretty badly. And these numbers down here are just crossbows running in. These 12 crossbows are pretty much good as dead, as there are 3 town centers that he has to run past in order to make it out. Both of the players are on their way up to the next age, and both of the players at 106 villagers exactly. But look at these military numbers for JorDan compared to Hera. 31 military for Hera and only 1 for JorDan. This lone mangonel, can he make one mangonel take out 30 military of the enemy? Great split there from Hera as he's attacking on the front as well. JorDan, though he will be up to the Imperial Age faster, will it be worth it? What can he get from being in the next age, as he only has 2 military, and those are both just the mangonels that, oddly enough, unable to take out the army of crossbows. Mangonels being, of course, a obvious counter to crossbow numbers, especially in these high amounts. And JorDan did want to move into some sort of infantry, but such a costly move at this point in time, and it looks like he's going to start to go into the champion line. But at what cost? It is a long, long route to get there, and these crossbows are still causing damage. Of course, crossbows at this point in time, they do outrange the town centers, so just leaving them here, they will be able to outrange the town centers at any given moment, as the mangonel still trying to take out these crossbows. They are so weak at this point in time, but able to get some good engagements. And look at this castle placement. Will he be able to get it up? This one knight might save the day for JorDan, as he has the knight moving forward, taking out those arbalests now, who would have been picking off villagers left, right, center. And Arbs going in on the other side. Scorpions, of course, good against clumped up military, but not good when that clumped up military can outrange significantly. And militia are being created, squires being researched, man-at-arms. It's such a long process to get up to the next point, as two castles are up on the front for Hera, and the castles for JorDan are more spread out without any villagers repairing. This forward castle will definitely go down, especially with 3 different trebuchets attacking and only 1 in response from JorDan. The arbalests now trying to pick off what they can in the main farming eco of JorDan, and Hera now with the 10 villager lead. Man-at-arms are out, but will it be enough, as longswords will be coming in shortly, two-handed swords will be immediately following that, but JorDan's resources are dwindling, and of course champion is a very expensive upgrade to be getting, especially at this point in time. He is collecting up relics. I do love the move to collect up those relics, as two-handed swordsman is coming in very low on resources, and just 10 arbalests able to do so much damage. And because he knows that there is this switch to infantry, hand cannons even coming out, very expensive units, well known to be not necessarily the strongest units in the game for what price you have to pay for them. They are pretty expensive. But now, in response, there has to be some skirmishers, and again, Hera just one step ahead, already raiding with hussars. And these two-handed swordsmen will run in on the arbalests. They will be able to get in pretty close and cause massive damage, but it is just not enough with these hussars coming in and the hand cannons behind with multiple trebuchets. There was nothing that JorDan could do. That castle going up right here changed the course of the game. If that castle was denied, there is no way Hera was going to win that quickly.